I was trying to address some of the problems next door to the university campus where I was teaching. I was trying to see if there's anything that I can do to make it easy for people, even for one day. And I did a lot of little things, and I saw problems of money lending. So I tried to help people get out of the clutch of the money lenders by lending the money directly to them so that they can return the money to the loan sharks. They become free. So at that time, I was not thinking about anybody's rules or anything. I was simply doing what came naturally as a solution. So I was not following a rule or deviating from a rule. I was responding to a situation in the best way I could. Later I saw this is is opposite of what a banker would do. I was not trying to be a banker, so I had no idea. But the fact that it worked and people were happy, I wanted to continue with it. So I was trying to bring the bank in to give them the loan. Bank said, no, our rules don't permit it. So I got into the conflict with their rule. And that was resolved after months of negotiation by offering myself as a guarantor. I said, I'll become the guarantor and you'll give the money. So there I'm absorbing all the risk, as they say it, and open up the door of the bank and give it to people. And it worked. And then I wanted to continue with it, but bank didn't want to continue with it. So I had to create a separate bank to do exactly what I was doing because it's working. So that was the creation of Grameen Bank. For the bank, today we have 7.5 million borrowers, 97% women. Our whole objective of creating this bank, lending money, is to help people earn more. They can create income generation for themselves. They can pull their families out of poverty. Now that is happening. Many, many families are coming out of poverty. And 64% of the Grameen borrowers are out of poverty now. 64% of the borrowers who have been with Grameen Bank for 5 years or more, they are out of poverty. So our hope is more and more of those families will come out of poverty, ultimately ensuring that 100% of those families within Grameen Bank come out of poverty. So this is one goal that we see within Grameen Bank. And second goal we see within Grameen, children of those families come out of the cycle of poverty which their parents and their great-grandparents have been going through. So the children will create a new kind of life for themselves, break away from their old repetition of poverty cycle. So that's another goal for us. For globally, we are talking about creation of social business, a business to do good to people rather than make money out of it. We see the need for it because today's idea of business is all about making money, treating human being as a money-making machine. And I keep reminding that human beings are not money-making machine. Human beings are multidimensional beings. Human beings want to make money at the same time, want to help other people, want to change the world. But today's business doesn't include other things. So I said, why don't we include a different kind of business into the market? I'm calling it social business. It's a non-loss, non-dividend company with a social objective. It's nothing for me, it's for everything for others. It's in contrast to the conventional business, where everything is for me. I cannot care less who suffers from my business if I'm making money. The second business that I'm proposing is everything for others, nothing for me. So if you have those two alternatives, people can choose how they want to combine their life between these two businesses, and the world will be a better place by introducing the social business. That way we can solve the problems which are left behind by the money-making businesses: poverty, environment, healthcare, housing, diseases, and all sorts of things. This can be designed as social business and can be eliminated. It doesn't have to be on this planet. So ultimately we can create a poverty-free world. So that's what we should be working for. within education, each young person should be going through an exercise. What kind of world that she would make if they have all the opportunities to do that. If she is the only one who's been creating this world, how would she create it? What will be the features? Because that's where she'll start thinking what is right, and then list them, and then hang it up and work for it. So that's what I see as a basic responsibility. At the same time, every young person during education should make a commitment. Commitment is, I should hand over this planet to my next generation, better place than I found it. It should be safer than I found it. It should be more beautiful than I found it. And tell their next generation to do it that way, that they will make it still better and still safer, still healthier than they found it. So that way we'll know if we are doing any damage to this planet. Damage is not acceptable. Improvement is the thing which is acceptable. That way we don't appear on this planet as plunderers, as if we are the last generation on this planet. We are not. We are only holding it for our generation, and our task is to make it better and safer for the next generation. The world is a learning place anywhere you go. So there is no specific place that you learn more. Every place has its own beauty, its own problems, and see how they are doing it, and how they, if you are there, if you are one of them, how would you have done it? So that interaction is very useful. Each country has its own way of looking at things, own creation of their own problem. Latin America, Guatemala has one type of problem, then Brazil has another type of problem, or Argentina has one kind of problem, Chile will have another kind of problem. So it depends on what type of problem that you will like to see, or just make a selection which has a combination of several things that you are interested in, so that you can be there and can look through it and experience it. You can see success stories, you can see failures. Failures also gives a lot of lessons. So just because they are failures doesn't mean that we don't have to look at it. We have to look at it so that we know what causes failures. It may be the designing problem, it may be management problem, it may be just unlucky. Things just went wrong, suddenly beyond their expectation. Only thing I can say, this is a wonderful effort. It's not just for getting a degree or something. It's not that what you get as a piece of paper. It's what you make yourself through this. It's not to say each person will go through this and come out in its own way, what you want to absorb out of it, in the light of what you want to do with yourself in future. So don't give up your uniqueness. Absorb it within the framework of your uniqueness. This is not a military operation that everybody has to be same size, same thing. No. You bring your uniqueness into it and make it completely different than what your friend is doing or somebody else is doing within the same class. And that's what the most exciting thing that will come out of it. You are privileged, you are lucky, you got the opportunity to meet all your friends and go through all the experiences that you have. But what you do with it is your thing. Now somebody else cannot guide it for that.